What up, y'all? Tim Z here, back at it again, like you can always expect. Know what I mean? And today, gonna be unboxing something. All right, take a look at the box. All right, let's get right into it. Take that sleeve off, and there it is. All right, put that there. Oh, don't eat that, guys. Don't eat that. All right, we got a manual on the bottom of here. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it out. Oh, man, it's stuck. It is stuck, guys. That is a bummer. It is stuck, and it's hard to get out. Oh, I almost had it. All right, I got it. Here is the manual. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through that. Some of y'all might be like, why does the box say Citizen on it when the watch says Seiko on it? I have no idea. The dude I bought it off of, I guess, doesn't have the real box, the original box. So here I am stuck with a Citizen box. Yep. All right. So right here we got it's a Seiko SNE573. All right, SNE573. We got some smudges on the crystal. This crystal is sapphire, by the way. Okay, and I know that's kind of rare for a Seiko. For a Seiko, they usually have Hardlex mineral glass, right? It's their own proprietary crystal, Hardlex. And the thing about sapphire is it doesn't scratch as easily, right? It's more scratch resistant, but it's more prone to shattering. Whereas Hardlex is easy to scratch, but doesn't shatter as easily, right? So, yeah. Let's take a look. We got satin finish on the sides of the case. We have satin finish on the top of the case. And the little bevel between the two satin finishes has high polish. All right. The bezel is satin on the top. And we got high polish in the grooves, but we have satin on the top of the teeth of the bezel. Very cool. The bezel itself, good action, 120 clicks, right? And it's really a nice action. It's not as loose as some other watches, right? And that's something that you would like if you were going underwater, diving, all right? And I'm gonna say right here, I can see the solar part of this watch. You guys, I'm not sure if you can see it right here. There's a little line, like a plus sign. Yeah, you can definitely see that. Yep. And usually you wouldn't be able to see that, but we're under a bright light, all right? And that's what charges the solar cell battery in here. The battery is supposed to be good for 10 months, fully charged. Even if you keep it in the dark, it will run for 10 months. And the battery should last at least 10 years. And after that, I'm sure you could replace the battery. I got it on the rubber strap. That's the only option it comes with on the 573. There's some other numbers, different variations of this watch that come with the bracelet. And honestly, I don't really like the bracelet. The bracelet looks cheap, and that's one of Seiko's downfalls. They don't got good bracelets on their lower end models. Even their higher end models bracelets are not that great. Like, you really got to get into grand Seiko territory before you see some nice bracelets. All right, so let's just check out the function of it, the watch. So you unscrew the watch. It's a screw down crown. You got to unscrew it before you can do anything, right? And now We're going to set the time. All right, pull it out all the way out. 1, 2 to the last position. You turn clockwise on this watch to set the time. All right, we're going to keep going around and around and around and around. All right. Yep. And let's see how the date changes. The date changes within the first 5 minutes, which is good. Even Swiss watches do the same thing. All right, now we got to keep going around for the PM. All right, I don't even know what time it is. We'll just put it at here so you can see the time. And the date is the 8th, I think. All right, 8th. Now push it all the way in, right? Now, on Japanese watches like Seiko's, the crowns, the crown tube where the threads aren't as smooth as many Swiss watches, all right? So you don't want to cross thread your crown and your crown tube, okay? So usually the best thing to do is push it down against the tube, push the crown against the tube, and turn it counterclockwise until you feel it drop in. And all right, you're gonna turn, all right, there's the drop in, and you know you're in the right spot, and then just tighten it, all right? That's it. That's just to make sure you don't cross thread your crown and crown tube. All right, so we got the sticker on the back here. Let's get right into this. Man, they put some blue sticker on here. All right. And I know if you work for Seiko, you're going to be able to search the serial number and see where the watch came from. Yeah. It's a nice case back. It's high polish, you know. I mean, if it was a more expensive watch, you might have circular satin finish on the case back, but, you know, can't complain at this price point, which actually this price point is pretty high if you buy this thing full price. I think the full price on this is almost $550 or something like that, which is kind of crazy, right? Considering you get a strap and it's a Seiko Solar. You know, Seiko isn't such a high value brand anymore. It's still a good value, but it's not like what it used to be. Like, oh man, you're getting a great price for a really nice watch. Now it's like, you know, it's starting to enter into entry-level luxury territory, you know, price. It's really getting into that price range. The satin finish, I will say, it's a little bit rougher than what you would expect from a Swiss watch that's a few $1,000s, a couple thousand, 1,000. Yes, you know, a little rough, you know. I can definitely see that it's not perfect. That's fine. It's probably done by hand, honestly, like really quickly. Yeah. Yeah, the strap itself, you know, nothing to really talk about. You got a metal keeper here, which is folded, it looks like. Oh, no, it's not. I mean, it is probably folded, but yeah, I thought it was two pieces open on the end, but it's not. Yeah, it looks all right, you know. It looks okay. It's a nice watch. I'm gonna remove this. The seller put this on the watch because they don't want people taking it off. They want to know that they're not wearing the watch if they decide to return it, but I'm not gonna return this watch, so there it is. Let's take a look. All right, now this is kind of crazy. They put Seiko on here probably because it's easier than putting it onto the buckle. And the buckle is plain here. Well, on the underside, you can see Seiko. Yeah, you know, Seiko Prospects hand tag. I know I ignored that. There's the reference. Yeah, guys, what else can I do for you? Let's see, thickness of the case, we can do that. We got 11 millimeters, and that can be done because it got a quartz solar movement, so solar quartz in here. And if had this been a automatic, it would have probably had the Seiko 6R35, 4R35, whatever. It would have had something like that, very similar to the NH15, NH35. Basically the same movement. They're basically all the same. Just more decorated or whatever. They all can be regulated. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, honestly, I'd rather have solar than that movement. Those movements, they're all right. They're good. They're workhorses. The sweep seconds hand's kind of rougher than what I'm used to. And this movement's not bad at all. It hits all the tick marks. Look, check that out. And that's something that doesn't even happen on Swiss watches, all right? Swiss quartz are all over the place. It'll be like hitting the markers somewhere here or up here and then missing down here. Yeah, but this is very good. If you had a Swiss quartz and it was hitting the marks like this, you'd be happy. You would be very happy. It's not that common for the Swiss quartz watch to hit like this. And, that's something Seiko's able to do, which is great. One thing I don't like about the bezel, all right, is you can see right there, the bezel is higher than the insert, okay? And that makes it seem like, the insert was just dropped in there. It's not done with great fit and finish. It's like kind of, you see how the bezel's higher than the bezel insert. And, they're going to say that's on purpose. Not my favorite thing, Just feels like, it feels weird. I'm used to the bezel insert being up to the lip, like right up there. But I see why they didn't do it on this watch. The crystal would have needed to be taller to not make it look weird. Because the crystal's very flat down there too. The insert would be over the crystal if they made the insert higher. All right, now, and the insert has a nice circular pattern going around. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see it right there. That's a nice touch. It's cool. It'll be interesting to see how it gets scratched up. And you know what? This is a tool watch, so you shouldn't feel worried about this watch getting scratched up. I am going to put this on a bracelet. All right, and the bracelet that I'm going to buy for this one will probably be the SKX013 Jubilee OEM Seiko bracelet. I know you're going to say, Tim Z, that has a folded end link, folded end piece for the bracelet. Why would you want that? And listen, I know, so what? A lot of freaking nice watches still have had folded end pieces back in the day. Rolex, Tudor, whatever. And they're comfortable, all right? And secondly, I want to get a bracelet that is OEM Seiko instead of some random, no name or different aftermarket bracelet with a different name on it. I want to have the authentic Seiko bracelet with this watch, and the Jubilee bracelet is a comfortable bracelet. It's a very comfortable bracelet. It's going to feel like a retro Seiko watch. It's going to feel vintage with that Jubilee. It's going to feel jangly, like, that's how it's going to sound with the Jubilee from Seiko. And, that's something like a lot of brands had back in the day with their Jubilee. It was super jangly and clingy, like it sounded like a bunch of little metal rattling around. And that's what this watch is going to be like. And I have no problem with that. It's a great size watch. 38 millimeters. What was it? 38.5. Not bad at all. Yeah, guys. This really is a nice watch. And it's so different than what Seiko usually does. Oversized divers. This one is just something nice in their collection. And you know what? It never got as popular as maybe it could have or should have. It really is something different than what they usually do. I mean, they could have easily made this watch more expensive had they just put a more expensive movement in it, put some Grand Seiko movement in this, and finish a little higher. This watch would have been, $3,000 with a nice bracelet, easily $3,000, especially at this size. Those you Seiko lovers would have ate that up. All right, if they made this a Grand Seiko and everything was just better, and it was 38 millimeters, a diver 38 millimeter Grand Seiko, you guys would have ate that up. It would have been like, oh, which one should I get? The Grand Seiko 38 millimeter diver or the Rolex Submariner? Everyone likes to compare it to that, right? And here's a Seiko mod watch, right? This one's bigger, 40 millimeters, right? Got that oyster style bracelet, oyster case, basically. I mean, it's overall Submariner homage. And yeah, I mean, this watch is kind of chunky. Look at that, NH35 inside. It got to be chunky because that movement's thick. Look, big difference, man, big difference. We'll take the thickness of this for the hell of it. 13, maybe 13.5. Yeah, I don't know. I made this one. It's all right. I wore this one for a while. Now I'm kind of bored of it. This is a nice watch. Good everyday watch. You can put it down. You can not wear it for a while and never worry about the battery. And before we go, we're going to do lume. Lume. Of course, it's got to be lume, right? All right. What's this light called? Lumen top. F3WA. I don't know what that. F3WT because it's titanium. All right. Whatever. Guys. Yeah, this is pretty good. It's not one of the best Seiko looms out there. All right. I'm going to be honest with you. But this is up to Swiss level loom, It's not the best like Seiko Tuna, Seiko Marine Master, or Seiko Monster, or any Seiko Divers Turtle. Maybe it's not up to that level, but honestly, this is good enough for this watch. It really is. All right, guys, I don't think I should ramble about this watch anymore. I usually don't do watch videos, okay? If you guys want to see more watch videos from me, leave it in the comments. I don't know if I'm going to do more, really. I just felt like to do this one because this watch looks cool. Right? Yeah. And plus, you know what? It's super expensive to buy product to review or make videos on this channel. Knives, watches, gadgets. It's just too much, It really is too much. All right, guys. So if you like what you saw here, subscribe. If you want to see more, give me a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram, TimZUSA. And until next time, Tim Z out.